If you thought the Goddess of Sin was a little confusing in Dark Souls 1, it only gets worse in the sequel. But I will guide us through this lore as best as I can. Quick recap of the last video, Velka is the Goddess of Sin spoken in lore but never seen directly. She has her partners track the sins of all people through their Book of the Guilty. If you beg for forgiveness and pay in souls, you can have your sins erased. But if you're not repentant, she'll send the Blades of the Dark Moon after you. The strange thing is, Velka seems to have an odd beef with the other gods. Not only does she have weapons that can hurt the gods, but her servants don't use faith to cast their magic. A lot of her stuff is hidden away in a place where unwanted things are sent, and she's turning humans into birds. This then brings us to Dark Souls 2, where Velka is not mentioned actually, at least not directly. Dark Souls 2 takes place so long after Dark Souls 1 that a lot of the lore of the original gods has been lost. There's a bunch of new gods, but they're very questionable in nature. Many of them might just be the old gods with new names, and some of them are just people. Yet despite her name being lost, Velka's influence is still felt. For example, Crow Demon. Weaponsmith Ornifex is a fascinating case because we know that this is someone connected to Velka. But she never talks about Velka, she never talks about sin or absolution. She talks about herself and her people as if they're totally separate from humans and never were humans, and implies that her talents came from Seath of all characters. Is this all a big retcon or is something else going on? Alongside a Crow Demon, we also have a Pardoner. Well, he's got the uniform and he absolves sins, so clearly the Velka cult is going strong, right? But remember, Velka's name has been lost. It says so in the lore for his armor. Despite knowing that there's a goddess of sin, the name is gone. Even the purpose of the armor is lost, it's just a symbol of authority. The clothing that Cromwell sells you also reveals an interesting fact. The clerics of this land aren't that well respected, and it's mostly a carryover of tradition. So does the partner even fully get what's going on here? Or is he just playing through the motions because that's what you're supposed to do? And then there's the clutch rings. They're said to have some connection to darker deities, and considering we got a bird's claw over here, this seems like a Velka thing. But there's a lot of variants of this ring, including ones that protect you from darkness, from magic, from fire, and from lightning. If we pair that up with her anti-god weapon back in Dark Souls 1, I think it reveals something. Mainly that Velka wants her people really prepared. Could it be that in her pursuit of punishing sin, Velka is trying to cover all her bases? No matter if you're man, god, demon, or monster, Velka will have her people come after you. And she will protect them as best as she can while they do it, even if they've long since forgotten their origins. But we still have one more game to cover, and it may be Velka's biggest role of them all. What do you think of the evidence so far? What is going on with Velka? Let me know your theories in the comments.